Hi, everyone. Welcome back for a brand new episode in our Cloud Tank podcast. Today, we're going to be discussing some signs that you may be experiencing within your business, which are clear indicators that you're ready to move to the cloud. I have my colleague here, Z, again. Hi, Z. How are you doing?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Very good. Yes.
Yeah, last time we had little technical difficulties with the video,
Yeah,
but
I know.
I think we are getting it right this time.
Yes, thankfully. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so the topic is again your favorite topic.
It
I know
is.
you've been talking for a while about it, and
Yeah.
seems very interesting.
Yeah.
The signs that you should actually move to the cloud.
Right.
Not exactly you're ready for the cloud, but I think you should consider moving to the cloud.
At this
These are the
point,
top signs that you consider that you are not, up to the mark or up to the expectation with your customer or business. So,
right.
so what is the first sign you think?
Yeah. So the first sign that we see often is not meeting service level agreements. Could you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah, so service level agreements is like basically is some kind of expectations. For example, when you have for your applications running, you say, hey, we provide 24/7 support, for example. That means that if customer calls you, they expect some answers. So, for example, 911 service is 24/7, no matter midnight or, early in the morning, you call it, they'll pick up the phone. So they have some kind of SLA, service level agreement with everyone that they will provide you service. So if your website is a shopping online website or something, and you have you can say customers all around the world, like they have expectations. I mean, if someone is shopping from UK time zone or in Germany or in China or somewhere else, they expect your site to be up and running. And if they click the submit order button or something, checkout button, they expect to see something, unless. So that's like a service level agreement with your customer. So if something is breaking, like for example, you are in US time zone and your website is not working and your developers are trying to fix it and your admins try to fix it, it hurts other area in the customer. Maybe somebody is using the site during that time, So that is like a service level agreement. And I've seen like a lot of cases where, website is down most of the time because of the legacy systems. Nobody knows how to handle it, control it, or the hardware is not sufficient enough to support the load of the system. So what they do, they keep restarting the servers after every hour to keep the fresh, memory and clean up the stuck resources and all these things. Or maybe could caused by bad programming, bad application development as well, that you fail to release the unused resources in the application that fill up the server memory. So that hurts your service level agreement. So could be many reasons. And if you have like consultants or experts or partners who can actually understand and dive in that type of application analysis, they can come in. For example, similar services we provide. We can inspect your applications and get into your weeds of your application source code. Okay, what's wrong with your actual application, or how should actually enhance it? And we have done a lot of projects, similar projects, where we actually, for example, move on-prem to the cloud, but the on-prem application was not built up to the standard that it should be scalable on the cloud. So we recommend our customers to, change your technology systems. So service level agreement, if it's hurting your business, your website is down when the customer is expecting it, I think it's signs that you should consider moving to the cloud because of the various reasons, like application development, you can have hardware capacity, and a lot of cool things comes with the cloud.
Yeah. The next sign is high hardware cost, which is actually one of the main benefits of cloud computing, is that it eliminates the need for you to operate and maintain your own on-prem data center. And for example, if your customer base grows, it'll scale automatically, versus with traditional legacy systems that are on-premise, you need to kind of purchase that hardware in advance and make sure you have enough, or it could cause some setbacks. Could you elaborate a little bit more on how this is a clear sign?
Yeah, so whenever you start a new project, there are like a lot of things you need. For example, you have an idea of doing some kind of a new application that would help grow your business, your customer base, and a lot of things, or maybe solve a big problem of your existing customer, and that would add value in a nutshell. You came up with the idea, but you estimated the capacity. Hey, I need like 10 different servers. I need like development environment. I need testing environment. I need production environment. And it adds up a lot of capacity planning, and it takes time to do the proper capacity planning in a sense. For example, you started a project and it failed. Nobody uses that feature, liked that feature, or something happened. Maybe the idea became old now, so you have to abandon the project.
Yeah.
So the hardware you bought for all this project is kind of wasted. And that is like a capital expense. It's like hurting your profit because you're buying servers and all these things. You can reuse those servers for other projects, but again, you're repeating cycle. Maybe the other project might have a different requirements. They don't run on, for example, Intel processor or something. So with cloud, that capacity planning phase is kind of eliminated. Now you have an idea, you can spin up a instance quickly, whatever type you want. GPU instance, you want like regular CPUs or something. Just spin up your resources, start building development, start doing development, building applications. If idea fails, doesn't hurt, you shut down the servers, spin up the new one with the new idea. So that is like if you keep spending on hardware, one sign. Another thing I would like to add, for example, you have some kind of a shared file system where all of your employees store their files on a shared network drive, and they keep generating data or content. You keep adding new hard drive. You keep buying hard drives for your organization. That is also like expense. All these hard drive could fail anytime. Then you have to have a backup also for that. So,
and I'm sure it takes time to install it and maintain it, versus in the cloud, the service provider does that for you, and you only pay for what you use.
Exactly. So that sounds like an insurance company ad. Pay for what you use. So I mean. The point I was making, that hardware cost, if you don't know exactly what's your upper limits are, so that's the sign that I think you should consider cloud computing, because cloud provides you unlimited storage, and you pay only for what you use. And if you use 1 terabyte of resources, you pay for that. If you use 2 terabyte, you pay for. So
and if you use less, then the payment will be adjusted as well.
Exactly. So that's one of the signs you can say.
Okay, and the next sign is if a company is using a legacy system, that's also a clear indicator that they're ready to move to the cloud, because sometimes it's not cohesive with modern technology. So if you could elaborate more on that as well.
Yeah, legacy systems could be hurtful in a sense, because to keep up with the technology, you have to, invent new things. And for that, you need to use modern tools available for you today, Take an example of Kodak camera, for example. It was very popular back in the 90s and 80s. People talk about Kodak, And now Canon and Nikon and Sony took over. Even now you see in the camera innovation, mirrorless cameras came. And now Canon and Nikon are kind of competing to catch up to that, because Sony took over a lot of market share. So you have to keep invent. If you sit on your original ideas or something, it might hurt your business and take away a lot of market share. So
Yeah.
invention is very important, and it comes with the legacy applications and systems as well. So you have to keep up to date. Now customers also, data analytics is very big. Big data. Everything is generating data these days. Like your cell phone generating, your garage door is generating data, your thermostat is basically generating data every second, like how things and everything is like smart these days in a sense, quote unquote, smart.
Right.
So that is a lot of data generation.
Right.
And can your legacy system handle it or not?
Keep up, yeah.
So if it doesn't, then you have to, and better data can give you better insights to make better business decisions. So
yeah, I feel like it also creates slowdowns within an organization, because if you're bringing in some newly hires, maybe some technicians that are fresh out of college, it might take time to also teach them the legacy system. And I feel like that whole process is just slowed down as well.
Yeah,
when you're using an outdated
plus,
system.
Fresh talent, they don't want to work in the legacy system because they have to make their career up. And if somebody hear about it, hey, we are using mainframe system, you'll be working on a mainframe. Nobody will jump on it because they will like, hey, okay, maybe it's cool for 1 month or so. But what I'm going to do, I can't stay in this company forever.
Right.
And so there is like a career decisions also a lot of people have to make. So it's hard to find talent as well if you're using legacy system. And if you find talent, then it's expensive because they only know the technology. And
right.
So it's another sign that you should consider moving to the cloud, and that means adopting new technology and stuff.
Yeah, which is actually the next sign, which is high turnover within your organization, which we kind of touched on. If there's no opportunity for growth within the organization, they may experience high turnover rate because either they don't understand the outdated system or they're looking for progression within the company and they just can't find it.
Yeah, that's a very good point by you. People want to be happy in today's world, back in a day, like I remember my parents and dad, they were, the culture was that, okay, you join one company and you die with that company. So now the culture is like, it's fast moving startup ideas, innovation, and people wants to, step the ladder pretty quickly. Nobody have, kind of time to be patient and make their career out, start as a, for example, junior developer and end up like a IT head, or something like that, or top manager of the company. Nobody wants to do like spend hours and all these things. They want like quick results, which is also not good. I'm not like fully buying on that idea. If you need a personal career growth, I think you should invest some time on it as well. And that's my philosophy. Like, I've been in IT for over 20 years and I've paid my dues, to come to this level, running a company and, working.
And you have the wisdom that comes with it too, not just the technical expertise, but the wisdom with the trial and error, all of that.
Yeah, exactly. So there is no, alternate for experience. But the point is, people would enjoy your stay if you are using modern tools and technologies, and you can say, quote unquote, again, cool and smart technologies, and building something innovative. People would like to join you and enjoy the ride along with it.
Right. But especially if you have like a global companies presence, yes, where technicians out, let's say in India, need to access something, and so do technicians in the USA. So if you have that modern infrastructure, they can easily access that data 24/7. With the legacy system, I feel like that's a little bit harder if you're global.
Yeah, back in a day, I remember there was a requirement to integrate with the bank accounting to do the reconciliation of the data. And we had to do like very complex integration, that there is like a file somebody will upload and on a shared drive, then you have to integrate with it. Now with web sockets or web REST APIs, web services, it's like pretty quickly you can integrate any data with anything. So technology is changing. That means like you can integrate with third parties applications pretty easily instead of like spending on infrastructure and anything. I remember also like 15 years ago, I was like doing some research for a company where they needed like a content delivery network something. And they were calling some ISP, internet service provider like Comcast and Xfinity and all these people, AT&T. And the expense, it was very expensive. And then we found Amazon AWS provides the same service, and you only pay for what you use, And it was just click of a button, you have the same content delivery network set up for you. And you don't need to go through ISP, sign contracts, and all these crazy things with it, and pay for the fixed amount of money and all. So I mean, technology changed. I mean, if you need to set up a call center today, Amazon provides you like Amazon Connect services where you can actually set up your own call center. So the technology is change, and like if you innovate with it, people like to stay with it, and that means
the working experience is smoother, they're more content, morale is up, productivity is up, which kind of leads us into our next point, which is if an organization is spending a lot of time on troubleshooting versus innovation, they're wasting a lot of time, a lot of resources trying to mitigate these risks when they should be focusing on rolling out new features, innovation.
Yeah, exactly. Again, if you are, I've been on calls where IT department only work, they have to work on weekends as well. And Friday night when you have plans to go out with family for somewhere, and then all of a sudden your boss is calling, hey, my site is down. And nobody enjoys that now. I mean, nobody wants that life. Like it was okay like 10-15 years ago when people have like
because that was the technology
technology limitations, but now you can set up like all the crazy high availability and scalability features in the cloud computing. But if you are keep troubleshooting, like your site is down or your database is down or too many connection connected to the network, or my network is down, or my something for the deployment I have to restart now 10 different servers and test everything. And that troubleshooting, you don't know, like for example, if you're not using configuration management as code that we talked about in previous, that means that you are like manually configuring all 100 servers. That takes time, and that means human error, the chances of human error is a lot
greater.
And then that means troubleshooting, and you don't have time for innovation. And that also is a sign you should move to the cloud computing, adopt all the modern best practices that set up configuration management, infrastructure as code, microservices ideas, all these innovation actually happened in the technology because these were main problems of common enterprise, or you can say IT technologies. So we have progressed now to the next step. And if you're still hesitant to not adopt cloud, I think time to think about it, because
especially amidst the global pandemic, more and more businesses.
I mean, you see like now physical presence is no longer important. If you have online presence, you can actually still run your business. And so I mean, so that's what, I mean, very good points you made, like about like these are the common signs we think that you should adopt cloud technology. And I've seen like a lot of people still struggling with this.
Yeah, like I feel like small businesses too, they feel like making that major shift is going to cost more money and more time, when in fact, in the long term, it's going to save them time and money. And it's just might be a little uncomfortable for a little bit during the transition period, but if they're looking for long-term success and growth, that this is really the only way to go, as more and more businesses are decreasing their use of maintaining and operating their on-prem data centers.
Yeah, exactly. And having the right partners, I suggest helps. They can guide you with their experience, and they can, take you along with your journey. Okay, what's your objectives are. For example, customer comes to us, they say, hey, we want to do this or that. And we share our experience. Okay, we have done similar projects or something in that area, for example, and what the path or roadmap you should take to actually achieve your goals. And it's a step-by-step journey. Some companies can go in 6 months. Some could take a couple of years, and depends on how complex your data and your applications and how many applications you have. But going on a cloud journey is also another big decisions that CTOs need to make, these. Having a right partner is very important. I've seen disasters where choosing a wrong partner cause company more trouble than relief. I would really suggest make the right call. Make sure that your partners have experience working with all the technologies, and they have implemented those projects. They have seen what many people have struggled already. So, yeah.
No, I think that's great. That's all that we had for today, but I feel like this was a good conversation for those companies that are maybe in the middle of transitioning to the cloud or are contemplating it. These are some clear signs that you are ready to move to the cloud. Make the move today.
Yep. Visit our website if you want to learn more about us, datanextsolutions.com.
I'll be posting our website link and social media profiles in the details below. And if you have any topics you would like us to cover, please reach out to us. Our email is info@datanextsolutions.com. We're happy to hear your feedback, and we'll catch you next week.
Thank you.